What's happening?
Just trying to get better. A lot of things happening in life.
I was practicing.
Good. Good. That was good practice. Guys are dialed in, working hard. Been pretty consistent that way.
Did you feel like you guys defensively took another step forward last Saturday?
I think in some areas, it's fair, to say that. But as I've been saying to all of you, the line of consistency just isn't there through an entire game. And to really be great, that mark of consistency has to be present. And it's just not quite there. Now, I think in that game you've got to give Arkansas some credit. We had momentum defensively, had a number of third down stops consecutively, and they came up with a couple gadget plays that really changed the momentum of the game, and so they did a good job too.
This will be your first opponent where you're not totally sure who your opposing quarterback is. Does that change the way you scheme, or you just
I don't think so. I think they're pretty consistent offensively, in what they do. Having said that, there's a lot of offense. So I think each quarterback represents, a different kind of threat, but within the structure of really what they do.
I haven't played Clemson and Monroe. Does that help a little bit in preparation, just in terms of speed, pace of play, things like that?
I think it does. It's still a difficult thing to simulate in practice, and to create some chaos situations and such this week is going to be important for our guys. But yeah, it's a difficult thing. I don't think you can do it in practice with a scout team, and hopefully the experience in Clemson and Monroe with no huddle situations has helped us.
Talk about the challenge of facing a guy like Moncrief outside. I mean, big physical receiver that's been pretty much a go-to guy for them.
Yeah, it's a great challenge. I mean, obviously he's a playmaker. He's a game record, and there's so many situations where he's covered well and makes the catch. So he's got a great combination of size, speed, and ball skill. So it's tough when they've got the running game that they have, where the quarterback's so involved, and then on the outside they've got a playmaker like that. It makes it real tough.
Seems like John Mincy was on the assignment of Kobe Hamilton a bit. Were you pleased with how he and your whole secondary handled him Saturday?
I think so. I think the first play of the game was disappointing. They ran a speedo route, and that was real disappointing. The rest of the game was quite a bit of play action, boots and quick game throws outside of the gadget play. So I thought we did a pretty good job. I liked again what we did in third down. So we continue to improve there, and that's very very important. So in a game where unfortunately we turned it over, we had some 60 plays, did pretty good in sudden change outside of one scenario. So again, there's some positives. And they're getting better. Secondary's getting better.
You mentioned Saturday ascending players. Do you see anybody's role increasing, or even new starters?
I think there's some possibilities of that. We just have to, again, evaluate each week. And, in our room, we want to keep it competitive and make sure guys continue to work on gaining an edge and keeping an edge, through the season. So I think that's one of the good ways to do it. You go out and you work hard and you earn playing time, or your playing time can be decreased if you're not on point.
Some positives, as you said, but forcing turnovers has been kind of it just hasn't happened for your defense. How much of a frustration has that been for you, and how much of a point of emphasis does that need to be going forward?
Oh, I think it needs to be a huge point of emphasis. We've got to do it. We had one real good opportunity. Josh played the coverage real well. And we just, we didn't come up with a play. I think a lot of it has to do still with our pass rush being, inconsistent, putting pressure on quarterbacks to, force some errant throws. Last game was a little bit difficult again that way. We had a lot of play action, a lot of quick game throws, so it was just a little bit different plot in that ball game. But you know, it's a concern. We've got to take the ball away, and just got to, like you said, emphasize it and hope you get results. Sometimes those things run in, all of a sudden it's happening, you know, and you just got to get it started.
As you see it, is that kind of the next step, becoming an opportunistic defense? I mean, all the great defenses obviously can make those plays that change games. I mean, how important is that the next step in this defense?
I think it's, you know, I think it's important. I think we got to be real who we are right now, you know, and where we're going as a defense. You know, we're trying to become better. We're trying to become a championship defense, and we have a lot of work to do to get there. I think that gaining consistency still is the most important thing, and as we get better, I think you'll see him as more opportunistic in respects to that.
What's Tebow's role right now on the defense?
Well, it could be increased this week. You know, he's in a backup role right now. As a player, that's the case. As a leader, he's tremendous in our room. He's absolutely tremendous. I got great respect for him. Guy that was starting and now is backing up, and shows up here every day with a great spirit, and he represents everything that we really want and look for in an Auburn player.
Is he a heart of the team type guy, at least through his vocal leadership?
No, I think so. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Yeah, he's a champion young man.
Could his playing role also change a little bit this week if Chris Davis's status?
Yeah, sure could.
Has Chris been able to practice at all this far?
You know, I don't really make comments on injuries and such. I let Gene do that. I feel it's my place to do that.
What have you seen out of Josh Holsey as his play time has increased?
Getting better. He got a couple lessons last week, and that's just part of, you know, being young. You know, he got fooled on a gadget play for a touchdown. And a couple other situations in the game where he broke down a little bit. But you know, I think the ability is there. I think he's got to polish all his tools and keep learning, keep seeing things. As he sees things and gains experience, I think you'll see him respond quicker. But he's got good corner skill.
Angelo Blackson's a guy that he seems to be for defensive tackle, a lot of athleticism, a guy that you can drop back and cover and those sort of things. Can you talk about the opportunities that he gives you to be creative up front?
He's you know, Angelo's making strides, getting better. I recognize a bigger player with some athleticism. We don't necessarily, you know, build some of that drop work around him. It just so happens he plays a lot of plays, and when we use it, he's been in there more. But it is advantageous when he is in that situation. But you know, Angelo's another guy. Shows up every day, works hard. Again, he's in the developmental process, trying to become a better player and a more productive player. And I'm pleased with his work habits and what he does. And it'll come. It's going to happen. Again, he did some things on Saturday I thought showed that he's starting to get it, and he'll get better and better.
What has it been like in the defensive meetings the past few days? Because the players Sunday, today seem to be going back and forth a little bit. But T-Bell and Lutz calling out some younger players, and you have Sammy today speaking a little bit about older players not carrying weight of leadership and things like that. What has that room really been like?
I don't know. I mean, they're young. To me, they're just young, and you know, they've got a lot to learn. And one of the things is probably not to say a lot. That's probably the wisest way to go. And I don't really, you know, I don't listen to the noise outside. Too busy to do that. I encourage them to do and go about their business really the same way. I mean, it's the other way you can stay dialed in and stay on point. You know, you got a job to do. Coaches got a job to do. Players got a job to do, and you focus and you do that without a lot of the other input and such that really to most doesn't mean a lot. Bottom line is you go out and you play ball. You compete, and you bring passion and bring execution to the game. And then in the end, you get what you earn. So that's the way it is.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right.